Good evening, members of the Canadian Armed Forces, veterans, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us tonight for our special virtual gala to pay tribute to the brave individuals of our Canadian Armed Forces and the families who stand with them. This year, we've been reminded once again of the tremendous role of our military in ensuring the safety and security of our country and the deep sacrifices that come with service. This past April, we watched as our men and women in uniform stepped in to provide critical support to our most vulnerable citizens in long-term care facilities at the height of the COVID-19 pandemic. Later that month, we mourned the loss of 6 Canadian Armed Forces members who were tragically killed in a cyclone accident in the Mediterranean Sea. And in May, we grieved once again, this time at the loss of a member of the Royal Canadian Air Force during the tragic snowbird crash in BC. These events gave us pause and demonstrate the immense weight shouldered by the brave individuals of our military. These men and women fearlessly step forward to serve our country, often leaving their families and loved ones behind as they embrace challenging conditions with great risks. Just as these military members step in as part of their duty to Canada, True Patriot Love has been there to provide critical support for those who serve, veterans, and their families. As we all face the challenges of the global pandemic, the Foundation's commitment to this community has only strengthened. Over the past few months, we have leaned in to provide much-needed support. This includes partnering once again with Bell to ensure vital funds reach those facing mental health challenges at this time. Likewise, we supported Team Rubicon Canada's response to COVID-19 through the Neighbours Helping Neighbours initiative, which promoted safe, individual acts of service across Canada, such as aid for those in isolation through food banks. True Patriot Love has also been working to ensure the government recognizes the needs of military members and veterans in COVID-19 relief programs. And we partnered with the Vanier Institute to fund a survey to capture the experiences of veterans amid the pandemic, which will inform our granting decisions and support funding and policies within government organizations like Veterans Affairs Canada. We are truly grateful to our donors and supporters like you who have stood with us to make a positive impact in the lives of more than 30,000 military members, veterans, and families over the past 11 years. Every year, True Patriot Love recognizes one individual or organization that has made an outstanding philanthropic contribution to the resilience and well-being of our military community with the Patriot Award. This year, we are reimagining this recognition. At a time of global crisis where our country has had to band together to find strength and hope, I'm honored to recognize all those in the Canadian Armed Forces who bravely stepped up in the heat of the pandemic during Operation Laser. These individuals valiantly rose to the occasion at a moment of great need, putting their health and well-being on the line to protect others. We are truly grateful for their contribution and their service to this country. It is my pleasure to introduce Canada's Chief of the Defence Staff, General Jonathan Vance, who will be accepting the award on behalf of our Canadian Armed Forces this evening. General Vance's outstanding leadership both during the pandemic and in his 5 years as CDS has been marked by courage, integrity, and strong resolve. He has served in uniform for close to 40 years and has contributed deeply to the freedom, safety, and security of this country. As he prepares for retirement, we are tremendously grateful for his friendship to True Patriot Love Foundation and for his inspirational leadership in the critical days of Operation Laser. Please join me in raising a glass to the individuals of our Canadian Armed Forces and welcoming General Jonathan Vance.
Good evening, everyone. Sean, thank you for those kind and gracious words and for the recognition that you've bestowed upon those who deployed on Operation Laser. Thousands of Canadian Armed Forces members stepped forward during this pandemic, ready to help their fellow Canadians and keep our country safe. I was deeply impressed by their commitment, their integrity, and their sense of duty. They represented the best of what it means to serve in uniform. We were proud to do our part alongside so many others who worked tirelessly to save lives and stop the spread of the virus. It is my great honor to accept the Patriot Award on behalf of all members of the Canadian Armed Forces. Thank you very much, Sean, and to True Patriot Love. This pandemic presented us with new challenges, and many of our personnel took on unfamiliar roles. But at the end of the day, that's what we're here for, to protect our country against all perils and get the jobs done properly. It's a legacy that we carry on from those who fought, persevered, and made the ultimate sacrifice in years gone by. we honor their memory through our continued service. And whether the armed forces are overseas, working with our allies and partners to make the world a safer and more stable place, or they're here at home fighting the forces of nature, or anything else, they can do what they do because they know they have a trusted teammate watching their back. They know that someone is looking out for them. And that's what you do for us. True Patriot love lets military personnel know that Canadians have our backs, that you recognize and appreciate the sacrifices that our people make for our country, and that you care deeply about the well-being of each of us and our families. Sean, it's a beautiful thing. Through the funds you have raised and the programs that you support, you have made a concrete and meaningful difference in thousands of lives. And tonight you have honored them in a new and special way. From the bottom of my heart to all of you in True Patriot love, and on behalf of all Canadian Armed Forces members, our families and veterans, I thank you. I wish you and your loved ones health and happiness. Have a great night to all of you.